Ah. Ah. Can you appreciate my studio here? Huh? My makeshift studio. I tell you what, we've had a big problem today. I wasn't even in the mood to do any streaming after hanging out after a 4 hour blackout. You know, get a little bit tired. What time is it anyway? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. That cannot be right. Wow, 1 o'clock in the morning already. I didn't even get to do anything on this stream. Put together nothing. Put together nothing. You know, I had a setup going. I was right in the middle of streaming earlier today, setting everything up, and boom, blackout. We had a complete blackout here in Bali, which kind of sucks. When you have blackout here, it's kind of it's kind of a bummer because we're kind of lucky that it's cool. When the blackout happens and it's hot and humid, you're stuck in your room. You don't want to open the door because it's so humid and everything. But yeah, we got stuck in that. So after 4 hours of being in the dark, after the blackout here in Bali, finally the power comes back on. I didn't know if I was gonna do the stream or not. I had a whole 4 hour setup, but every time you turn off my system and turn it back on, it seems like it's set up differently. I have to go through everything again, the microphone, the camera, the lighting, everything. I don't know why. And I have a cheap little setup here. It's nothing fancy. When I came to Bali, like I mention all the time, I didn't bring anything because I have my Mac Mini and old iPad and AirBook. So anyway, so man, it was just weird to have a blackout in Bali. And I sit up high on a hill in my balcony. I can see the entire like one end of Bali. It's just black, but you can see where the power outage is actually the limits, because the airport and beyond I can see everything lit up. But yeah, it sucks when you're in Bali and there's a blackout and you have no air conditioning, no lights, it's nighttime, all the stores are closed, everything's done, and then you realize, oh man, I should have went to the store and bought snacks or something. I never have anything in the house. And every year here in Bali, just in Bali, they celebrate a I don't know what it's called. I mean, I know what it's called. I don't know if it's a celebration or what it is here. It's a it has something to do with a legend where if you're caught outside, this monster will eat you or kill you. So it happens for 2 or 3 days. You got to be inside. You can't leave your house, your hotel, your wherever you're at. You can't leave. And at night, you can't have any lights. So everything is blacked out. I mean, they cover everything. They cover the electric meters that have little red lights on them. And what's really funny is that I didn't know that about this this thing. You know, I didn't know about it. So it's connected. Very good. Am I still on? It's telling me I'm out, but I think I'm still on. Yeah, I mean, so they tell me um, about this thing, but I didn't know how serious it was. They actually have policemen, or they're like local police, that ride around and make sure that nobody's out. And if you're out, they fine you, or I don't know what they do to you. Um, but they're pretty strict about it. So you need to prepare for these 3 days. You need to go out and buy supplies for 3 days because nothing's open for 3 days. And actually, when we first came in, they told us it was 2 days. So we bought, I didn't take it seriously. I really didn't. I bought some things, some water, not much, enough for maybe a day or so, thinking everything was going to be okay. The second day into it, they tell us that they are closing the city for an additional day. I'm not too sure why. So by this time, though, I'm out of water, I'm out of food, I'm out of everything. And I'm panicking a little bit because I'm like, my girlfriend drinks water like crazy. She goes through a 5-gallon bottle like every couple days. So I decided to go out on the motorbike and look for water. I have this empty 5-gallon bottle with me. And so I'm out in Bali riding around looking for what? Nothing's open. Everything is closed. It's a bummer, and it's funny because the company I work with has like, I don't know, 200 employees, and you get to know everybody, right? And all the foreigners that work there, they're not prepared for this either. This is their first Yippee. And so I'm riding around, and I can see them riding around too with empty bottles. Everybody's just dying for water, and I'm panicking. I'm looking for water. I'm looking for some place to find. And after cruising around a little bit, I found this little like mom and pop store open in some side street, like really small. And I saw that they had water bottles, and I went in and I bought everything they had. They must have had like, I don't know, 10 bottles of water in their little refrigerator, and I bought them all. It was like, oh, and I bought like chips and cookies, whatever they had, because we had no food. It was crazy. So, it's really weird. And then around the city, they put these huge like statues up, and they're like monsters, and they're really scary. They're like, I'm gonna put together a whole this year in Yippee though. I was gonna do a whole. It's coming up in March. I was gonna do a whole live stream on it because they do have the ceremony in the day where they carry around these monsters to the ocean or something. I don't know what they do. But I think this year I'm gonna skip the whole Yippee. It's only in Bali, so if you leave Bali, like maybe to go to Lombok or some of the islands, you don't have to lock yourself down for 3 days. I think I'm gonna get out of town this year. It's really a pain in the ass. I don't like it at all. So that's what we're gonna do this year on that. But yeah, I'll take some photographs of the monsters. They spend a lot of time on them. They're really big, and they put them out in the streets, and it's supposed to scare people from going outside or something. I have to dig out. I knew what it was about before, but I just right now after 4 hours in the dark, semi-sleeping, I just said screw it. I'm not putting too much time in my brain on this one. On it. I did want to go over some crypto today, man. Ethereum just moved through the roof. I mean, that's gonna just go really well. I think that oh my goodness, yeah, it's already up at 16. It's moving. That? Yeah, I think so. Moving and cruising. I'm for sure this is going to be it's going to be a $2,000 token by the end of this. I'd say in a couple of months, man. This thing's moving really good. Yeah. and it's an obvious choice because right now Bitcoin is just getting so high. This is just the next decision to make, and we're next token that's easiest to buy. It's low hanging fruit on it. Look at that. It's moving really well on that. Yeah, we're gonna see 2,000 by the end of the month for sure. I'm happy to be in that. I didn't have a whole lot of it, but I should. Today I was teeter tottering. I'm buying more today. When it dipped down a little bit, I was thinking it's time to buy, but I didn't get into it. I should have. I really was going to get into it, but I wasn't going to buy much more of it on it. So I'm excited about that to see Ethereum go. Yeah, it's weird. People just fight it. Like when you tell them this could be a $10,000 token, and they just they shrug it off. But it's the same setup as Bitcoin was. A few years ago. No, not even a few years ago. I mean, Bitcoin was like, Jesus, it was very affordable, 1 year ago. Look at that, man. Very happy to see that move. I think that's one of the safer bets on that, and going into the other altcoins. And this year, me and my buddies, we're looking straight into the low cap stuff. We're not going big cap anymore. Low cap all the way. The reason why is because I think we're going to get the biggest move in these altcoins this year on the small stuff on it. And I think everybody's now focused on the altcoins right now. And we got some good companies come out with real products, real stuff, not just another coin, something that has a purpose. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking low cap, good backing, with a great idea or purpose to it. And there's a few of them on there. We'll go over those, I think, in the next couple of days. But I'm really liking the DeFi as well. So we'll see what that's going on. I'm always wondering, what's the best time to stream? I'm streaming at night, which is daytime in America, and I'm not sure if that's picking up the, I don't know if that's the right area. I wonder if you know, let me know. Let me know, man. Look at that. Everything's green across the board right now. Let's take a look. What is BTH doing, huh? Oh, yeah. Everything's looking great, man. I tell you what. It's in hindsight, you think I should have put more into it. I always put a percentage of my cash into what I think is I can risk. But today, I really was thinking about popping in some more. On it. It's funny. I was like on Reddit, and I was listening to all the, reading all the posts of people that are sitting in a Dogecoin or GameStop, and I feel sorry for everybody. They're just, I've been there before. I've been there where for sure that something is supposed to happen because it's just physically impossible for it not to happen, and it doesn't happen, and it's just like everybody's holding on for this short squeeze to come, and I don't know what's happening. Wall Street, they can manipulate the hell out of everything. I used to be an options trader, and that was just like, that's the most rigged game I've ever seen, man. Yeah, that was just, it was horrible, but yeah, I just, all the stories of people saying about how they put all their life savings in it, and they're hanging on for this magic moment, Then it can happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I'm thinking, I'm glad I'm not in that, I'm just lucky to have a few coins that are moving my way. I haven't checked my DeFis yet, but they move quickly, man. I put a little bit in Alpha Labs, the DeFi Alpha Labs, I think about it, 20 cents or something like that. He's closed above $2, high as two something. Now I think it's like $1.90. I haven't looked at it though. So that gets crazy, you know. And it's a funny thing about these coins, And I was browsing through some coins, looking for something, different. I spend about an hour every day trying to see something new, and I came across this coin. It was called Young Boys Fan Club, and I'm American, so I don't know anything about um, soccer teams, I guess you would say. But I didn't know this, but I'm thinking Young Boys Fan Club. This is a pedophile coin. I'm like, this is the most odd thing I've ever seen. I had to look it up too. I'm like, what the heck is a Young Boys Fan Club? And there it is, right there. Look at that, Young Boys Fan Club. Let me see. Can you get a good look at that? I'm not sure. Let me see. I see it. I'm not too sure if you can see that. It says tokens. Cutting it off, I think, there at the top. Yeah. Let's just move this down a little bit. It is. So you got your Young Boys Fan Club token. And on the service, I'm thinking, what the fuck is that? Who put that out there? Man. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was a Swiss sports club. I had no idea. I mean, BSC Young Boys. Okay, I get that, but when you put fan club in that whole mix, it becomes a whole different thing. It really does, Young Boys Fan Club. Yeah, that's a token I will stay away from on that. That is freaking crazy. I don't know. Young Boys Fan Club. I don't know. If I told my friends I was investing in a Young Boys Fan Club token, they would be like, "What the hell is your problem, man?" And yeah. So I'm just glad I'm out of stocks right now. I've been looking at the aftermath of what's going on here, and people are just freaking out. I saw this interesting report that GameStop, that they're thinking there might be some I don't know, fraud involved. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like brokerages, market makers are actually selling more stock than there really is. Somebody was doing a tally on all the short sells and all those other things, and it turns out there was like more stock sold than there was shares issued. And that might be the reason why that the firms are all freaking out about this, and they're closing down actually trading on those with their sim, because they don't have the stock. They're actually oversold or overbought, or just they're selling more than they have. That's a very interesting thing. I wonder if that's the case, if what will happen. I mean, I think this stuff's been going on forever. Even with Bitcoin, with all these like companies like PayPal and whatever, where you can't actually take physical possession of the coin. You can buy into PayPal and you can sell, but you can't move the coins out. So what prevents them from just selling coins that don't exist? It's interesting. We don't have to worry about any liquidity. Not liquidity, but availability. So I'm not sure about that. That's interesting. I wonder if this will turn out to be something. That's very, very interesting, and it makes a lot of sense about what is actually going on. And I was reading something else too, that the CEO of Robinhood may have to testify in front of some committee, and that'll be very interesting. They need to really get to the bottom of this. I bet you Robinhood has some major problems ahead of them. You know, I bet you that's going to be a big problem for them. Yeah, man, what a mess that is. I mean, this whole thing stirred up a lot of dust. We'll see what happens. You know, it's funny when I'm on the Reddit and I'm looking at all the posts, and people are so excited that they were able to do something like this, move stocks, move things around, and now they're just like, what's next? What's next? What's good? Let's do this. Let's do that. It's really funny. They pumped XRP a little bit. That was interesting. I looked at, I had XRP as well, and um, I was gonna sell it. I was like, oh, I'm up a little bit. I didn't have much of it. I said, it's just not much. And then I looked at it today, back down 50%. Yeah, everything's always in hindsight. You know, it's so difficult to figure out what's right and what's wrong. Low battery. It's something that I do all the time. I browse around to see other streams, and I'm just amazed at some of the streams that have like an incredible following. Just like a young kid playing a video game, and it's just amazing. And I guess there are a lot of kids in the world that just are on their phones all the time, so that makes sense. When you're in my age group, 20 to 25, I think it's a different ball game to get that attention. And I'm lucky to be able to be in Bali and have access to different content that I can put together. It's just doing it. When you get out here and you've been locked down so long, you get lazy. I'm not sure if I want to do it or not, but what I'm interested in is IRL. Doing streaming on the go. And, I was looking at setups, but it's ridiculous the cost of some of these setups and what you need to do. And I was looking into it, and I'm thinking, I mean, it can all be done by cell phone. I mean, Bali's covered with cell sites. Even some of the remote stuff, even going up into the waterfalls, I think you can catch a tower somewhere around there. So I should be able to put together a system with my cell phone, a backpack, a battery pack. I might be able to do it that way. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try that out though. It's gonna be interesting. I've been watching some guys in like the Philippines. He rides around on a bicycle every day on a bicycle, just riding around, pointing at things, eating food. I'm always wondering why. And he has a good following, but his equipment is high-end stuff. I think he must have spent a few grand on just that setup. It's crazy. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. Maybe you have to. That's why they do it. I saw somebody put together a system with a Raspberry Pi. That's interesting. Streaming in out of a Raspberry Pi into a USB modem. That's doable. I think that's doable. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll give that a shot. Let's see how it is. Stream in Bali on the run. I mean, everybody's been doing the vlogs for a long time, but they're pre-recorded. With the live stuff, that'd be really cool. It's really funny too that you when you're doing your everyday stuff and you think about all these, like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. You write them down, and then when it comes time to actually talk about it, you're like, shit, this is a bad idea. I think when I talk about my monkey stories here in Bali, this is like the best content that I have is monkey stories. But I'm still trying to get this stuff together on it. I talk to myself for maybe an hour or so at a time, and maybe one day I'll have a viewer. I had two channels that I was putting together. One is actually kind of a professional. Not when I say professional, it's more organized. It's a concept. It has great overlays. It's something I put together when I was in Thailand. I never really I didn't follow through with it because I had a partner involved that was going to help me with it, and he backed out at the last minute. But I was going to do that here, but um, that channel will be very specific and very demanding when it comes putting together real content. When you do something like this, Nomad on the Run, I can talk about living in Bali. I can talk about how to make money. I can talk about investing. I can talk about anything on that. And it doesn't have to be so professional, or it could just be talk. So I don't know. So I put that channel on hold, and like I said, I'm still trying to get this thing together. I don't know. I'm trying to maybe I could put a fund together to get an IRL streaming setup done. That's what I want to do. I think traveling around Bali, live streaming, that's going to be kind of exciting for me. And I've wasted the whole year. I didn't do anything for the last 8 months. And then finally I decided to do this. And the only reason why I decided to do something like this is because I was motivated by some people actually in my building here. There's a couple girls here that do live streams on a system called a platform called Bigo, and they make okay money. They survive here in Bali. That whole content though is weird because you have a lot of people here in Bali and Indonesia and in Asia in general, at home, sitting in their villages, with a cell phone, and that's it. So going online and they support each other by, they spend little money on each other. They gift them like lemons or different gifts on different platforms. They gift each other those things, and so it's a little money to them. But then when they have 10,000 people following them, it's good. And it's always the same thing: is that sexy girls sitting in front of the camera, sitting in a chair and moving to music and chatting back and forth. That's it, and same with Twitch. I noticed that. I was looking tonight at the different streams. There's just a bunch of girls sitting in front of the camera wearing like sexy outfits, or what my favorite is, my favorite now is the girls that do the body painting. I don't understand. They're naked painting their bodies, no problem. I stream for an hour replays of that, and I get suspended for 7 days, So I don't understand. Maybe when you live stream, yeah, I was live streaming. When I got suspended, somebody reported me. Anyway, I don't get it. The Twitch, there's a fine line between what's accepted and what's not accepted. I don't know. Maybe when you're the new kid on the block with no followers, no viewers, horrible content, shitty equipment, you can't get away with much. Even trying to appeal it, that was funny. I sent them an email like, "Who's this kid?" When I say kid, it's a slang that I use for me. Yeah. But yeah, we just had the blackout for 4 hours, and when it happens, you're out for a few hours. It takes a long time to reset the whole system, and we've had like some severe rain, wind, and thunder here in the last few days. It's weird because it comes quick. Like today was nice. I was able to get out. It wasn't hot. It was nice and cool. And then out of nowhere, just downpour. Lucky enough, I just went in to the bank, or an area of the bank to go to the ATM. I mean, it was normal. I walked into the ATM. When I turned around, on it, So we just have to hang out till it ends. It lasts like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But last night's storm was all night long. It rained hard all night. Howling. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's funny. I wonder where, it's, when you're walking around in Bali, driving around, it depends where you're at. You see a lot of monkeys. You see dogs everywhere. Dogs covering the entire country here. I think it's in all Asian countries, because when I was in Thailand, there was dogs everywhere there. But when there's rain, you don't see a single animal out, man. I don't know where they go to. They're like hiding someplace. It's really funny. we'll see what happens with this. I want to put together more shit for this, but um, it's difficult. You know, I don't like the background. I don't like this microphone is not too bad. It turns out that the microphone on the headset sounds so much better than the microphone here, but I don't like wearing the headset all the time. Let's just monitor a few things in the background. Yeah. Oh, you know what's so funny? Really funny. I was watching this stream of these two. I have to find it. I'll put it out. I think tomorrow I'll do something on it. They get high, and you know, I thought it was just like a one-off thing, you know, because I saw them maybe a couple days ago getting baked. Man, these guys were getting so high. I couldn't believe it. They were so high. They were just like mumbling and you know, like you could see that they were thinking about what they want to say, and then they would say it. You know, it was like delayed thought and voice process. But I saw them again yesterday, and that's their content, getting high, you know. And I'm like, I didn't know you could do drugs on Twitch, but I noticed that, you know, they disclaim it as medical marijuana somewhere in the description. But yeah, they were freaking high, man. I mean, they were so high, it was crazy high. You know, I don't know. I think that a little bit too high for me on that. When I look at them, you know, all I was thinking is, I'm so wasted. They're just so fucking high on it. Oh yeah. You know, I thought that, you know, I was reading some of the do's and don'ts on Twitch and D Live and all the others. You know, they said that, you know, don't drink, don't do drugs, don't do anything, all those things, you know. But I was watching the Spanish one, and they were just drinking Jack Daniels, man, until finally they just couldn't stand up anymore. That was it. That was the stream, you know. Drink, dead. I don't know. Anyway, and then I watched these streams, you know, like I said, I lived in Thailand maybe about 7 years. I just came from there last year, and I'm watching these guys walk around all day long streaming, like all day, streaming all fucking day. And today when I was out and about, I said, I wonder what it'd be like to do something like that. But I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed at what people think, you know. You know, when I went to Phuket, I went there. I used to go there all the time, but I was there maybe a year and a half ago, and a lot of Russians are there, and every single Russian is doing some sort of vlog. You know, like they were all like sitting in the cafe and they were all doing their online stuff. It was just funny to see. You know, it was very popular to do something like that at that time. The streaming caught on pretty well. I like the streaming. I mean, the other stuff, you gotta sit, put the content together, edit the video, do this, do that, thumbnails, the whole 9 yards, make it look pretty, do some music, transitions, the whole 9 yards. It's a lot of work, you know. And the streaming just seems a little more natural, a little more entertaining. I like this concept. I hope I can get good at it. You know, I really do. Let's see where we're at on Ethereum here, guys. That's Bitcoin. Let's do ETH USD. Where are you? 1600, man. I'm telling you, we're gonna be at 2000 anytime now. Yeah, look at that baby go. Whew. This is good. Like I said, today I was thinking at about 1540 I wanted to buy. So I would have been $100 up into it, but yeah, nice. Super nice. I'm happy with that. Yeah, hoping that we maintain these levels here, get higher. You baby. What else did I see today that was interesting? I don't know who DTC is. So this guy's thinking that You think the hedge funds, clearinghouses, and DTC executed a coordinated effort to put GameStop out of business by conspiring to create a gargantuan number of counterfeit shares of GME, possibly 100 to 200% or more of these shares originally issued by GameStop. In the process, they may have accidentally created a bomb that can blow up the entire system as we know it, and we're seeing their efforts to cover it up unfold now. What is that bomb? I believe retail investors may hold more than 100% of GME, not just 100% of the float, more than 100% of the actual company. This would be definitive proof of illegal activity at the highest levels of the financial system. For you to follow this argument, you need to read the white paper, Counterfeiting Stocks 2.0, so you understand how the hedge funds can create fake stock out of thin air and disguise it as it looks like real shares. They use these fake shares in short attacks to drive a price of a company down until they put them into bankruptcy. This practice seems to be widespread among hedge funds that go short. There is even a term for it called strategic fails to deliver. Counterfeiting shares is extremely illegal, but it's very difficult to prove, and getting into the court to approve subpoenas because of the financial industry has stacked the deck against investigations. Yeah, see, this is interesting, you know. This makes a lot of sense. This actually puts the pieces of the mystery together and comes up, and it actually makes sense. It actually is possible. It says that there are 71 million shares of GME that have ever been issued by the company. Institutions have reported to the SEC via the 13F filings that they own more than 102 million of these shares, including 30% of GME stock owned by Ryan Cohen. Now, I don't know the delay variances on these ownership numbers, but I think they're pretty solid argument that close to 100% of GME is owned by these firms, if not more. Moreover, there are now more than 7 million people subscribed to Wall Street Bets. I know lots of people here are sitting on a few hundred shares they bought back when it was under 50. Some of us even holding thousands. If the average number of shares owned by each subscriber was even close to 5 or 10, we would have a very good shot of also owning similarly enormous amount of GME. Even if the average was just 10 shares per legit subscriber, that puts the minimum retail position at about 30 to 50% of the entire company. See, I think this guy's onto something. I think that's what's happening. I really do. I'm thinking that this is all made up, and now that this major move down it's put them all in a position that they're freaking out, and it may expose them. It says GME has been on the NYSE threshold list for more than a month. We don't have January data yet, but I just analyzed the data from SEC fails to deliver list in December, and it looked up the number of shares that were likely counterfeit. For comparison, I did the same for a couple random tickers. Most companies have close to no shares not showed up. Most companies have close to no shares not showed up. Of those that do, it's a relatively small number of shares. For example, two random company, Lowe's, 125 billion market cap, had 13,960 shares fail to be delivered at its highest point that month. Boston Beer had 295 shares. Okay, how many shares GME failed to deliver? Oh boy, over 1.7 million. As the white paper points out, the true number of counterfeit shares can be 20 times this number. How bad do you think the number will be when we get the numbers for January? I'm willing to bet it's many times that. Look how they compare to other companies. Yeah, there's going to be some major problems going for this company, for these hedge funds. And that's why everybody's freaking out right now. I'm telling you. There's going to be some shit hitting the fan, I think, coming soon. Really soon, actually. Motherfuckers, I tell you. shit's gonna hit the fan. You know what? I didn't check. Maybe am I on D Live? Let's check it out. Yeah, I'm on. I'm on D Live. I'm here. Yeah, I do got let's see here. All right, yeah, D Live. Hey, now what's going on with D Live? I wonder. I was listening to some guys. They're like some sort of tech geeks about these platforms, D Live, YouTube, Facebook, and things like that. And they was thinking that D Live just doesn't have the ability to continue financially and users. And you know, when I go to D Live, you know, I compare it to Twitch. I don't know if you can do that because Twitch is enormous and it's just very successful and has everybody in the world on that. But I see a lot of people actually dropping all these other platforms and just staying with D Live. When you look at D Live's future, and it's iffy. It's iffy. It doesn't have enough users. I mean, if I want to stream, but you know, maybe that's a good thing because if I want my content out and I want to be able to have it, I guess, discovered, maybe I have a better chance on D Live because it doesn't have so much competition. I don't know. Maybe that's a weird way of thinking about it. You know, when Twitch, you're in just the mecca of all of it. You know, on it, and you know, sometimes when I stream, you get lucky. A lot of people are chatting back and forth. A lot of activity, interaction, engagement, and then sometimes, like now, I just talk to myself. You know, I'm just doing it for, I guess, the fun of it. You know, you put all this stuff together and you work very hard to try to make shitty equipment work, and you got to use it, right? Huh? Yeah. But I'm going to keep this one short. I have to figure out what my best time is for doing this. I'm not too sure. You know, right now, it's daytime in America, morning time. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I am sure of one thing. I'm getting tired. And I don't know why I'm losing my bit rate's dropping. I'm dropping frames all of a sudden. It's really weird how this works. It's very temperamental. You know? I am dropping frames like they're coming out of style. Wonder why. It was working good 5 seconds ago. Now I'm dropping rates. My bit rate's down. I don't know. I'm dropping frames, baby. Why am I dropping frames? You know what? I never thought. It could be because of Restream. Could be Restream. I like using Restream because you can chat all in one. That's really cool. I have to look into it. Maybe there's a different way of doing it. And I can't use Streamlabs. For some reason, Streamlabs just takes up so much of my CPU that it just brings me down. I can only use OBS Live. It's just my CPU's 15%. When I use Streamlabs, it's 50%. And it lags so much on it. Yeah, anyway, so that's all I got for this evening. Because of the 4-hour blackout, I really wasn't motivated to put too much together, but I want to put some really good stuff tomorrow together. I got some really good stories to say. And if you want to come to Bali or go up to Thailand, I got to tell you how to do it. Because if you're done prepared, you can get when I say stuck, you can get really scammed. Okay, I'm done. That's it for me. I think that I will put this to bed. And I hope to be able to see more of you tomorrow.